And we're live. Welcome back or welcome to the Truth Comes to Light podcast, where everything done in the dark is going to come to light. Every single detail in this world that is done in the dark is going to come to light. I'm your host, Coven, and welcome to the show. For those of y'all that are new on the Truth Comes to Light podcast, talk about news from all over the world, the music industry, and more. Please be sure to tune in to the previous podcast episodes on the channel. And also, please be sure to tune in to Real Spill Wednesdays. On Real Spill Wednesdays, we talk about life topics and motivational quotes. Please, if you are interested, please be sure to tune into Real Spill Wednesdays. Also, please sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications to get the latest updates on when I post a full podcast episode or a full Real Spill Wednesday. All of those videos will be coming out real soon. More of those videos will be coming out real soon. Also, follow me on IG, TikTok, and X at The Truth Comes to Light podcast, because who knows, whatever I post on one of those social media platforms is like a foreshadow on what the next podcast or Real Spill Wednesday topic will be about. But if you don't follow any one of those social media platforms, you will be missing out. I'm getting consistent on those, and like I did with the last Real Spill Wednesday, I'm doing Real Spill Wednesday topic suggestions, and on this podcast episode, I am going to be doing a podcast topic suggestion. So I will be asking Real Spill Wednesday topic suggestions or full podcast episodes topic suggestions on my IG or my TikTok or my X. But if you don't follow any one of those social media platforms, you will be missing out. I want y'all to feel as though y'all can engage with me, and I want to engage with y'all too. I don't know how some of these other podcasters be doing, but I want y'all to feel as though y'all can engage with the Truth Comes to Life podcast, your host, Coven. So please be sure to follow those social media platforms. We have made it over 200 videos on the channel. I really thank each and every one of y'all that have came, liked, viewed it, comments, shared, did everything that y'all possibly could do to promote the Truth Comes to Light podcast. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all keep on coming back and looking at the videos, liking, giving y'all opinion on the videos and everything, just showing love. I'll be coming back every single chance that I get in regards to making content, because I really, truly love y'all. We started this 6 months ago, a little over 6 months ago. It's coming to the 7th month, and I really just appreciate each and every one of y'all that have supported the channel from the bottom of my heart. We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on staying consistent like I have been doing. We're 6 months strong, going on 7 months strong, and y'all have supported me every single step of the way. So I really love y'all from the bottom of my heart. So with that in mind, let's get straight into this full podcast episode. On this podcast episode, we're going to be doing a whole lot of sports, and we're going to be doing a whole lot of news from all over the world, because I haven't done news from all over the world in a minute. These past few podcast episodes, I've been more on the sports side of it, and y'all have been really showing support for me talking about sports. So, I had to keep on bringing it back. But I think on this podcast episode, I'm going to incorporate both of it, do a little mixture of it, and let's just see how it goes. So, last weekend, we had the AFC championship game and the NFC championship game. And when I made my prediction on the AFC wildcard game and the NFC wildcard game to see who was going to make the Super Bowl, who was going to make the NFC and AFC championship game, I got all 4 teams right. And I got the teams that was going to make it to the Super Bowl. Y'all are going to listen to me. Y'all are going to listen to me. Y'all are going to stop betting against Patrick Mahomes, and that's where we are going to start. The Kansas City Chiefs, the dynasty of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, continues. They go into Baltimore and beat the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens 17-10 to advance to their 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. The dynasty of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid continues, and the Chiefs, no matter what seed they are, you can just never count them out in the AFC. The Ravens, who finished with a season best, the number 1 seed in the AFC, had home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. Was a very good season for the Baltimore Ravens that just fell short in the AFC championship game. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, they have played in the last 6 AFC championship games. They're moving on to their 4th Super Bowl in the last 5 years. The Swifties are proud. The Swifties are proud of Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs. And now they are on to Las Vegas to be playing the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was 30 of 39 for 241 yards with 1 TD. He also had 6 carries for 15 yards. When looking at that on paper, it doesn't look like it was too much, but it was most definitely key, and we will be talking about it a little bit later. Isaiah Pacheco, 24 carries, 68 yards, and 1 TD. Travis Kelce, 11 receptions, 116 yards, 1 TD. He was the leading reception person, and he was the leader in yards. Rashee Rice was 8 receptions for 46 yards, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2 receptions for 38 yards, including the crucial deep ball towards the end of the game to pretty much seal the win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson was 20 of 37 for 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. He also had 8 carries for 54 yards. Gus Edwards, 3 carries for only 20 yards. Justice Hill, 3 carries for only 3 yards. Their leading receiver was Zay Flowers with 5 receptions for 115 yards. He had 1 touchdown, but he had 1 crucial fumble loss, which we'll be talking about. Nelson Aguilar, 1 reception for 39 yards. Odell Beckham Jr., 3 receptions for 22 yards. The Baltimore Ravens, you had it. This was the team that could beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You had everything on the line. All of these teams, the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. This was Patrick Mahomes' first time in the playoffs where he had to travel on the road and play these big-time teams. So a lot of people were questioning the Kansas City Chiefs, especially how they were playing throughout the course of the season. Travis Kelce getting hurt. The team isn't really connecting. They're losing the teams that they shouldn't be losing to. And they end up being the 3rd seed, and they have to go on the road to Buffalo and play them in Buffalo for the divisional game versus the previous 2 times that they had to play them. They were all at home. They had to play the Baltimore Ravens, who looked like the best team in the NFL, beating the San Francisco 49ers, destroying them. The defense looking good. The offense, the running game, Lamar Jackson looking like the MVP frontrunner, which he will begin the MVP at the end of the season. But when it mattered most, and you have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, Patrick Mahomes comes in your building. Andy Reid comes in your building, and they just beat you. And the crazy thing was, they didn't even score a single point in the second half. The defense stepped up in the second half of the Baltimore Ravens. They did. But the difference was when it mattered most, when they needed to get off the field on 3rd down and 4th down, there were plenty of times where Mahomes would throw it to Travis Kelce. Or the 6 carries for 15 yards, Mahomes would just run for 3 yards and get the first down. Run for 5 yards and get the first down. Those 15 yards by Patrick Mahomes was crucial. It doesn't look like a lot. It just looks like he only ran the ball just six times for 15 yards. That don't look like nothing on the stat sheet if you just look at the stats. But when they needed to get the first down, when they needed to keep the chains moving, Patrick Mahomes did that with his legs, and he did that with his arm. The running game for the Kansas City Chiefs was very, very effective. They came out on the first drive and was running the ball all over the Baltimore Ravens. They're getting whatever they wanted on the Baltimore Ravens. Travis Kelce was getting whatever he wanted. And they end up scoring a touchdown on the very first possession. Steve Spagnuolo had a game plan for Lamar Jackson. Had a game plan. Stopping the whole run. And the Baltimore Ravens just abandoned it. You have the number 1 rushing attack for years. You've been having that for years, no matter what running back you have, whether it's Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Justice Hill. You have all of these guys, and you still have the number 1 rushing attack time and time again. But why, when it matters most, you abandon the run? You only run the ball 6 times between the 2 running backs, and Lamar Jackson had 8 carries for 54 yards. Some of them were scrambles, so they didn't even run the ball. You turn Lamar Jackson into a pocket passer, throwing passer. There's nothing against Lamar Jackson saying that he can't do that, but the strings to this Baltimore Ravens team is running the football downhill When they were running the football, they was pretty effective. But the moment teams try to throw the ball up and down the field and try and make a shootout against the Kansas City Chiefs, they lose every single time. You see what happens with the Buffalo Bills. The key to beating Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs is to run the ball and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. The longer you keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, the better chance you have to win. The longer your time of possession that you have in order compared to the Kansas City Chiefs, the higher chance that you have on beating this team. And that's where the Baltimore Ravens messed up. They messed up right there. They messed up on penalties. There was a whole lot of penalties against Patrick Mahomes. He's running face masks, unnecessary roughness. Like, you can't do that if you're the defense. You have to stay disciplined. You held them to 0 points in the second half, but when it mattered most and you needed to get off the field for extra time for Lamar Jackson, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, questionable game plan. They just flat out just got out coached. Andy Reid just showed the Baltimore Ravens, showed John Harbaugh, how to win a game. How to win a game, which is running the ball 24 times like Isaiah Pacheco did, compared to 6 times for the Baltimore Ravens, and they're the number 1 rushing attack. And effectively on 3rd down, 4th down, keeping the chains moving. They did that the entire game. From start to finish, from their first possession all the way until their last possession. With the deep throw to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which the Baltimore defense didn't even think. Out of all people, they thought that it was going to be either a run or they were going to throw it to Travis Kelce. Nobody thought that they were going to go over the top to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Nobody thought that. I didn't even think that looking at the game, but that's Andy Reid right there. That's Andy Reid right there. And he has somebody like Patrick Mahomes that can do that. This is how you win playoff games. You have to run the football. You can't abandon the run game only. You have to go to your strengths, especially when you play Patrick Mahomes. You're the number 1 seed. You're the top seed in the AFC for a reason. That reason is that defense and you relying on your strengths, which is running the football. You get guys like OBJ on your team. You get Zay Flowers, who has been playing a good season. You get better wide receivers that you had compared to last year, which is good. But your strong suit that has been consistent for years, year in, year out, no matter what running back it is, because they didn't have so many running backs, is running the football. And you can't run the football 6 times between 2 running backs, and 1 time with Lamar Jackson. You can't do that. You can't run the ball twice between 2 quarterbacks, 6 carries, and Lamar Jackson 8 carries. That's not going to win football games. Versus Isaiah Pacheco gets the ball 24 times. Even though he had 68 yards, those were effective 68 yards. Effective 68 yards. They were able to run the ball. And when it mattered most, they could keep the chains moving. But with the Ravens, when it mattered most, the offensive line couldn't do anything. Steve Spagnuolo said, hey, we're going to let Lamar Jackson, we're going to drop everybody back, and we're going to let Lamar Jackson beat us with his arm. Not saying that he can't, but the strong suit with Lamar Jackson, the play action pass, the run and attack, and then set up the throw. But if you're going to have him drop back every single time, Lamar Jackson dropped back. I don't think he threw the ball 37 times, but he dropped back over 40 times. Normally when Lamar Jackson and the team wins, they run the ball way more. That number will come down. It was a 17-7 game. Pretty much the whole second half. It was 17-7. You didn't have to abandon the run. You just didn't. It's not like it was 24-3 middle of the third quarter to where now you have to abandon the run. Nah, it was a close game. A close game pretty much throughout. But the moment they kept on drop back, I'm sitting here, I'm like, what is the Ravens doing? Because this isn't Ravens-like football. Smash mouth football is Ravens football. And clearly it shows if they've been the top of rushing attack for these past couple of years, no matter what running back it is. And they have someone as dynamic as Lamar Jackson, who will be getting an MVP for this season for what he has done. But when it mattered most, why do you not have him running? I get that Lamar Jackson isn't trying to get hurt, but this is the playoffs we're talking about. You got to do whatever you can to win. You just have to. And running the ball 6 times isn't going to cut it. It's just not. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce had him a game. It felt as though the Baltimore Ravens just could not stop this dude. He had 11 catches. I think on 11 targets, if I'm not mistaken. 11 or 12 targets. 116 yards. And got the touchdown. He was effective. He was dominant. Nobody could stop him on the Baltimore Ravens team. Nobody. And when it mattered most, they couldn't get the Kansas City Chiefs off the field. Simple as that. They just couldn't. Teams that try and make it a shootout against the Kansas City Chiefs will always lose. Baltimore tried it. Dropping back so many times, drop back throw. That's not going to beat Patrick Mahomes. Same with the Buffalo Bills. It's not going to beat Patrick Mahomes. Same with the Miami Dolphins. If it was 70 degrees, dropping back throwing, either way, the same formula, it doesn't work against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs when it matters most. You see the teams that Patrick Mahomes has lost to in the playoffs, they were able to run the ball. They were able to keep him off the field. When he lost to Tom Brady, they were able to keep him off the field. When they lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship, Tom Brady was able to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field in the fourth quarter and in overtime. That's how you beat Andy Reid and Kansas City Chiefs. The more possessions you give Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, the more times that they have opportunities to score. And anybody that bet against Patrick Mahomes and not scoring in those possessions are full of themselves, because he's been proof of it time in and time out in these playoffs. He just has. So, looking at how Tom Brady beat him twice with the Patriots and the Buccaneers, it was the same formula. And just have a defense that can stop Patrick Mahomes. But keep him off the field. Be able to effectively keep the chains rolling. And when you do get on the field, stop him when it matters most. That's how you beat him. That's how Tom Brady beat him. No matter what team it was the same formula. But now these teams are prioritizing and dropping back, throwing, prioritizing and score. Instead of methodically moving the ball 12 plays, 15 plays, 13 plays. It doesn't always have to be 5 plays. Because the moment it's 5 plays, Mahomes can come back 5 plays back at you. Because my homeboy can do that. He can do that every single time. No matter who he has on the team. As long as he had Travis Kelce, he'll do that. As long as he had Tyreek Hill, all of these guys, Mecole Hardman, even though he's on this team, but when he was with Tyreek Hill, when he had all of these guys, he could still do the exact same thing. And especially when it's late in the game, you have to keep someone like him off of the field. It's a 17-7 game, Baltimore. The Chiefs didn't score a single point. Let me repeat that. Didn't score a single point in the second half. But they still won. If I would have told you that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't score a single point in the second half, you would be sitting here like, how did they win? You would be sitting here like, how did they win this game? But it's because when it mattered most, they were able to keep the chains moving. And when Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens abandoned the run early and went to their weakness, they lost the game. Instead of rushing the football and making that turn into the pass game, make your rushing game turn into the play action pass or the throwing game, that's how they lost. Along with the fumble, penalties, stupid penalties. This was Baltimore's chance of beating Patrick Mahomes and making it to the Super Bowl. This was their best chance. You didn't have wide receiver help, you get wide receiver help. Your defense improves, get Roquan Smith, you get these guys on the team, Kyle Hamilton, all of these guys that they have on the team, Marlon Humphrey, all of these guys that they have on this team. This defense is very talented. One of the top defenses in the league. They don't have the best wide receiver core, but they have Mark Andrews. They have a great rushing attack. It's complete all around. This was the year that the Baltimore Ravens at home could have beat Kansas City. And how Kansas City was playing from week 1 all the way to week 18, we're having questions. Is this the same Kansas City Chiefs team? They don't have Tyreek Hill these past 2 years. It's looking less dynamic. Travis Kelce isn't the same Travis Kelce that he was a couple of years back. All of these questions coming. Is Patrick Mahomes really him? This is his first time going on the road and playing road playoff games. Will he be able to fare up against these same exact teams that he beat at home versus on the road? And he proved in the divisional round and in the AFC Championship. He proved, Andy Reid proved, Steve Spagnuolo proved that no matter where it is, you never bet against them. This was the best year that they could have got eliminated. This was the Ravens' shot on eliminating the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the most, in my opinion, the most dynamic quarterback, the most versatile quarterback in the league in Lamar Jackson. He can run the ball very effectively. The best running quarterback in the league, can throw the ball. You have a very good defense. Team is just complete all around. And you only scored 7 points. And when it mattered most, you couldn't get off the field. Those things don't happen. When you're one of the top teams, it shouldn't happen. But on any given Sunday, it can be your worst day in the playoffs. You saw with the Cowboys in Green Bay. You saw that game. Cowboys were at home and they got blown out. Any given Sunday, a team can just come and not play right, and blow their chance on potentially going to the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs have played in the last 6 AFC championship games. The Chiefs forced 3 turnovers. The interception, the strip sack, and the fumble by Zay Flowers. The Baltimore Ravens only ran the ball 11 times. That's not going to win football games at all. Period. That's just not. And with Patrick Mahomes, he is really making his case on being the GOAT. He really is. He's already, last year when Patrick Mahomes did what he did, when he did win a Super Bowl, all of these Super Bowl appearances, he made his case to being a GOAT. He made his case on being a top 5 quarterback. Patrick Mahomes right now, at the age that he is already a top 5 quarterback in NFL history. And he still is in his prime. He is still going. And that is crazy for someone this early. We saw the potential at the beginning, his first year, that, man, this kid can be special. And you see it. And if he can win this Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers, beat them again, what is that? That'll be his 3rd Super Bowl? Let me see. Patrick Mahomes. That'll be his third Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes wins, that'll be his third Super Bowl. And he only lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That's the only person that he lost to. If Patrick Mahomes, with this team that he has, makes it to the Super Bowl and wins it, he already made it to the Super Bowl. If he wins this Super Bowl with the team that he has, you got to consider Patrick Mahomes already at the age that he is a top 3 quarterback in NFL history. Yes, I said it. I said it. My homeboy, if he wins this Super Bowl right now, he is a top 3 quarterback in NFL history. I said no lies. But my personal opinion, will Patrick Mahomes ever be better than Tom Brady? I don't think Patrick Mahomes will ever be better than Tom Brady simply because of the simple fact that when it mattered most, Tom Brady did beat him twice. He beat him twice head-to-head. Now, I do not want to hear y'all in the comments say, well, Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, okay? I feel as though overall, Tom Brady comebacks in the Super Bowl, game winners, just clutch gene, talent as a quarterback. All of these things makes him better than Patrick Mahomes. It's just added on that Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes twice, once in the AFC Championship game and once in the Super Bowl. You have to take that into consideration. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And did Patrick Mahomes ever beat Tom Brady when it mattered most? No, he didn't. So I feel as though he can be as high as 2. He's for sure the second best quarterback that I have seen personally. The talent, the arm strength, his impact on a game at such a young age. He has pretty much the same exact numbers as Tom Brady in regards to Super Bowls, MVPs, all before turning the age of 30. That is crazy. He's made it to the last 6 AFC Championship games. Every single time Patrick Mahomes has started, his team has made it to the AFC Championship game. Every single time. Do you not know how hard that is? There's teams out here that have not even made it to the NFC Championship game in decades. Dallas Cowboys, amongst other teams. And he's doing this back-to-back years. He's making it to Super Bowls. He's winning Super Bowls. And he's doing it without Tyreek Hill. People thought that, whoa, without Tyreek Hill, this Chiefs team is not going to be the same. Patrick Mahomes and this team isn't going to be the same. And he's proving people wrong. Oh, they're playing a road game against Buffalo. Oh, they're playing the top-seeded Ravens, who have been looking like the best team in the NFL. It didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. He proved everybody wrong. He proved the people that thought that the Ravens or the Buffalo Bills were going to make it to at least the AFC Championship game or to the Super Bowl. And he was like, this is my division. This is my AFC. So it's kind of interesting that already we're putting Patrick Mahomes as one of the great time quarterbacks, one of the all-time quarterbacks. Top 5 already. But for sure, if he wins this Super Bowl right here with the team that he does have, after he just beat the Eagles last year, and he goes back-to-back Super Bowls, you got to put Patrick Mahomes as a top 3 quarterback of all time. Will he be better than Tom Brady? Me personally, no. I can't say that because Tom Brady beat him twice. You just can't say that. You can't. When it matters most, well, you got to beat the best, and he couldn't beat the best. Never could. So you can't put him ahead of Tom Brady, and especially what Tom Brady has done. 7 Super Bowls. You can't stop 7 Super Bowls, man, especially one against him. You can't stop a 28-3 lead. Yes, Patrick Mahomes did that against the Texans. They were down 24-0, and they scored like 30 or 30-something unanswered, and they beat the Texans by 20 points. They scored 50 points at the end of the game. Phenomenal. You got against the 49ers in the Super Bowl where they were down and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to win that game. Yes, he's had games like that. But 28-3 is still remembered till this day. 28-3 destroyed the Falcons franchise, and they haven't recovered since. We haven't heard nothing about the Atlanta Falcons since 28-3. Who did that? Tom Brady. All of the comebacks, the clutchness, the arm ability, all of these things. He wasn't the best athlete. Mahomes is a better athlete than Tom Brady. Most of these quarterbacks are a better athlete than Tom Brady. But how effective Tom Brady was is just different. It's just different. And Patrick Mahomes, he just couldn't beat him. So, will Mahomes at the end of his career be better than Tom Brady? I don't think he will be better than Tom Brady, but there will be discussion of who is the GOAT between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Will I personally say that he is better than Tom Brady? No, I won't. But going to the last 6 AFC championship games, going to their 4th Super Bowl in the last 5 years, winning the last year's Super Bowl, winning against the San Francisco 49ers with an opportunity to go back-to-back and winning against the 49ers once again with pretty much the same team. This could potentially solidify him as a top 3 quarterback of all time. I would say my top 5 quarterbacks, I would say you have to put Tom Brady. You have to put Montana. I will put Mahomes right there at 3. I will put Manning at 4. Dang, that's hard. 5 is up for grabs. But those are the 4. You have to put those 4 at least in the top 5. You could put anybody else at that 5 spot. But Brady, Montana, Mahomes, Manning, and whoever you want to put at 5, you can put at 5. And I wouldn't be mad. So, shout out to the Chiefs for making it to the Super Bowl once again, back-to-back in Las Vegas. That is going to be very interesting to see that outcome and what it will do for not only Patrick Mahomes' legacy, but Andy Reid. So let's move on to the NFC Championship game between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. After being down 24-7 in the NFC Championship game, the San Francisco 49ers scored 27 points unanswered in the second half to beat the Detroit Lions 34-31 to advance to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2020. Questionable 4th down calls by Dan Campbell, turnovers and missed opportunities cost Detroit the game. What a season for Detroit after starting the season with all these questions. Are they going to be a hot team like they were last year, winning the last 7 games? Dan Campbell turning this organization around after they started like 0-10-1. They were really bad that first year, I think, that he was there, but it just fell short. But needless to say, what a turnaround for Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. And shout out to the San Francisco 49ers for coming back and winning this game. Man, this was a good game. This was a good second game. Brock Purdy, 20 of 31, 267 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Christian McCaffrey had 20 carries for 90 yards, 2 TDs. Also had 5 receptions for 48 yards. Elijah Mitchell, 4 carries for 7 yards and 1 TD. Deebo Samuel was their leading receiver with 8 receptions for 89 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 3 receptions for 68 yards and 1 TD. Jared Goff also had 25 of 41, 273 yards, 1 TD. David Montgomery, 15 carries, 93 yards, 1 TD. He was averaging 6.2 yards a carry. Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries for 45 yards and 1 TD. Sam Laporta was their leading receiver with 9 receptions for 97 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 receptions, 87 yards. Jameson Williams, 2 receptions, 25 yards and a TD, and also had 1 carry for 42 yards and 1 TD. It was on a little jet sweep, and that led into a touchdown. And let me go ahead and correct it. Christian McCaffrey had 4 receptions for 42 yards, and Brock Purdy had 5 carries for 48 yards. Let me go ahead and correct that right there. Man, Detroit, I wanted y'all to win. Y'all had it. I'm thinking, man, it is 24-7. Brock Purdy is playing like complete shit the first half of the game, throwing an interception. Lions are going up and down the field, running the ball effectively up and down the field on San Francisco. These boys just couldn't be stopped. So then halftime comes, it's 24-7. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my goodness, are the Lions seriously finna go to the Super Bowl? But this is Detroit we're talking about. 2 good things just can't happen in the same week. Just can't happen. It just can't happen. Can't happen on the same day. It just can't. And Josh Reynolds dropped catches on 3rd down and 4th down. Touchdown by San Francisco. Jahmyr Gibbs on the next possession fumbles. And then there's times in the game where Dan Campbell, you don't got to go for it on 4th down. Yes, I know that you have been that type of coach that has been going for it every single chance that you get. But you're a psychopath if you try and go for it 4th down in the playoffs. You are in the position that you are in, and we're going to look at it. But plays like this hits off the person's chest and right into Brandon Ayuk. This leads to a touchdown. The moment that play happened, that's when I knew, oh yeah, San Francisco's going to come back and win this game. When plays like that happen, luck plays, things that were supposed to be for the Detroit Lions, Brock Purdy was trying to give you the game. He's throwing that. He's scrambling to the left and throwing it back right. Opportunities galore for San Francisco to just lose this game, and Detroit could have won this game. But let's go to the 4th downs. So it's 4th down and 3. It's 24-27. You kick a field goal right here. You tie the game up. And it's an incomplete pass. That leads to a touchdown. So now you're down by 10. You drive down the field, get a garbage time touchdown, but you didn't even need to put yourself in that position. Go kick the field goal. Was your kicker hurt or something? Do you not trust your kicker? I don't care that you went for all these times in the regular season. The football gods is not going to save you all the time. And you got to keep that in mind if you're a coach in the playoffs. All of these analytics that people use for being the reason on why they go for it, it's about being smart at the end of the day. Take your points, live to see another possession, knowing that, okay, if they score, it's 34-30. We have the ball. We feel confident. We're finna go down the field and win this game. And now you're advancing to the Super Bowl. But instead, you have plays like this. Couldn't convert on 4th down. The Jahmyr Gibbs fumble. Josh Reynolds dropping passes. And questionable play calls that cost the Detroit Lions the game. It just did. You can't have that happen if you're Detroit. After you had all the momentum, Brock Purdy was not playing good in the first half. He was playing like straight trash, ass, shit. He was playing like all of that. He picked it up in the second half. He played very good in the second half. He did. But just like the play that I just showed you before, there was opportunities where Detroit could have easily, instead of 1 interception, could have made it 2. Could have made it 3. But Brock Purdy, needless to say, when he needed to scramble out the pocket and run, he did that. When he needed to make a throw, he did that. And he brought this team back. He stormed this team back, and they ended up winning the game. But Detroit Lions, at the same time, y'all shot yourselves in the foot. Y'all shot yourselves in the foot. Y'all did. Kind of stopped running the ball a little bit. Just a little bit. After being so effective in that first half. So effective in that first half. And play calls like this, Dan Campbell, is not going to take you to the Super Bowl. Sometimes you got to be smart. You can go for it sometimes. But plays like this and context like this, you don't need to go for it. Take your points. Live to see another possession. If this was a goal line stand, if you lose on a 4th down and goal, okay, cool, fine. But it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. You still have another possession for you, at least. You can kick the field goal and get your points. The one before this, you still had multiple possessions. Take your points, live another possession. Just take it. But if you keep on going for it every single 4th down, eventually in the playoffs, it's not going to work. The football gods is not going to help you every single time. So all the people that do say, well, Dan Campbell does this the entire year. Okay, he does it the entire year. But at the same time, when it matters most, sometimes you got to let that pride of you going for it, we're bringing the offense to the field for 4th down every single time. You got to put that back and be like, hey, we got to get our points. I know you want to get 7. Every team's job in the NFL is to try and score points. But mostly we want to get 7 points. We want to get that touchdown. But it's okay to just get 3 points. It's okay to get your kicker and kick. He was 1 for 1 for the day. It's not like he missed 3 kicks or something like that. He was 1 for 1. So with that in mind, why not just have them all out on the field and just kick those 2 field goals? So now that last possession, you don't feel as though, well, I'm down by 10. We have to score this touchdown, and we have to get this onside kick in order for our playoff chances to still be alive. Versus if you just kick those 2 field goals, you can have that last drive and feel confident that your team, just like y'all did on the last drive, can drive down the field against San Francisco and get a touchdown to win the game. Then we'll be having a totally different story. Since 1992, the Detroit Lions haven't made it this far in the NFC, made it to the NFC Championship game, beat the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers, and they're going on to the Super Bowl. But play calling, missed opportunities, and just turnovers, shooting themselves in the foot in the second half. That's what killed Detroit. They could easily beat this team. If they played them again, they can beat this team. They had the right formula, especially in that first half, which is running the football. They had it. They have 2 dynamic guys. They have Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. Those are dynamic guys. And they got them touchdowns. David Montgomery also averaging 6.2 yards a carry. 6.2 yards a carry. You don't go away from that. That was bread and butter. That was automatic. The fumble just hurt. It really did. The drops, Josh Reynolds, hurt. But at the end of the day, that play calling when it mattered most on that 4th down when you did have an opportunity, it did kill the Detroit Lions. It did. But Brock Purdy played good. He played good in that second half. He stepped it up because it looked like he was about to shit the bucket. He just did. Christian McCaffrey played good too. He was going to get his touchdown. We knew he was going to get his touchdown. 20 carries. He played good in the second half. He did. Deebo Samuel stepped it up in the second half. Everybody stepped it up. Everybody stepped it up. This shows that this 49ers team is very resilient. No matter how down they are, 24-7, they were able to come back. They were able to stay strong. They were able to hold this team. And the fact that they scored 27 points unanswered, that's resilience. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan said in that locker room, but he got them boys right. He said, hey, we is not going to lose to Detroit. The trash-ass Detroit Lions, who hasn't made it this far in over 25 years. We know this environment. We know what this tastes like, what this feels like. So go out and play some good football. And that's what San Francisco did. They went out, scored 27 points unanswered, held the Detroit Lions, and they ended up coming out with the W. This shows that this team is very resilient. Very resilient. And this was the Lions' best shot, in my personal opinion. Yes, they still have their offense coordinator. They're bringing them back next year. But I feel as though this team right here, this year, was Detroit's best chance of making it to the NFC Championship game. It just was. With the Cowboys getting eliminated in the first round, which nobody thought that the Cowboys were going to get eliminated in the first round. So now you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Detroit Lions in the second round versus the Detroit Lions going back to Dallas and playing them again. This was their best chance. They made it to the NFC Championship game because of that. And they got past the Rams, which I felt as though that game was a toss-up. This was their best chance of making it to the NFC Championship game. Like Dan Campbell said in the interview, it's hard to make it here twice. It's hard to make it back. They still going to have Jared Goff. They're still going to have Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta. They're still going to have guys. They're going to have that defense still with Brian Branch, Gardner Johnson, all of these guys that they do have on the team. But do I think that they're going to make it twice? No, I don't. Especially if Dan Campbell is going to coach like that in the playoffs in regards to going for it all the times and praying that the football gods is going to get him through the door and take him to the promised land. It's not going to happen. It isn't. But this team is talented. We knew once Detroit went on like that 7-game winning streak last year, that this year, they were going to be a different team. They were going to be a better team than what they were last year. We just didn't know how good they were. Did we think that they were going to be a Super Bowl contending team? No, we didn't think that they were going to be a Super Bowl contending team. But they proved us wrong. They did. They proved that they had the team to make it to the NFC Championship. And with the few things that could have went their way in the San Francisco game, they could have made it to the Super Bowl. But I feel as though the Detroit Lions, this was their best year of making it to the NFC Championship, and they're probably not going to make it for another 5, 10, maybe 15 years. I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it. Anytime you have opportunities like this where you just taste it, you're literally looking at the Lombardi Trophy, literally looking at it. It's right in front of you. Oh, we're up 24-3. You see C.J. Gardner-Johnson waving. Oh, bye-bye. You thinking that he's finna go to the Super Bowl. And San Francisco said nope. Nope. And took that from Detroit. Stripped it from them. So I feel as though this was their best chance of winning. And I do feel bad. Everybody wanted Detroit to win. Unless you were a San Francisco fan. Everybody wanted Detroit to win. And they were off to a hot start. But they couldn't capitalize. But Brock Purdy. I heard Cam Newton say that he is a game manager. And he's like the 10th best player on his team. And I 100% agree with him. There's nothing wrong with being a game manager. There's nothing wrong with it. You're managing the team and you're just doing your job. You're doing what you're doing. You're not messing up in no way, shape, or form. And you're doing what you're doing to win the game. Just don't mess up. That's the only job. You don't have to be a game changer all the time in every single system. You don't have to be the game changer. But if you can manage the team, if you just do your job and not mess up this team, not mess up this game, you can win. He's doing more than Jimmy Garoppolo when they made it to the Super Bowl. They're allowing Brock Purdy to pass the ball more. Something like this where we haven't really seen Brock Purdy really use his legs to scramble and run for yards like this. We haven't seen that. Brock Purdy was doing everything that he needed to do to win the game. But is he better than McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, Fred Warner, Hargrave, all of these guys? No, he's not. Dre Greenlaw. All of these guys. No, he's not. He isn't. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Just because he's not the best player on this loaded San Francisco team and we have questions on whether Brock Purdy can do this in a system with less talent, this is where he got put in. And yes, he got picked last in the NFL draft, so people ain't really think that Brock Purdy was going to be the guy, but he's just managing the team. He's just not messing up, and he's just coming in, doing his job, and walking out with W's. Nothing wrong with that. I feel as though he's a game manager. He's managing the game. He's not a Lamar Jackson, a Herbert, a Burrow, a Allen, a CJ Stroud. Like, none of these guys. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad quarterback. Being a game manager doesn't make you a bad quarterback. And I want you to understand that. Just because he's the 10th best player on the team, he's not the best player on the team, that doesn't mean that he's a bad player. He's just doing his job and doing what it takes to win. Nothing wrong with that. Now, we're going to say that Brock Purdy is a lead and he was going to be in the MVP conversation. Like, I felt as though he should not have been in the MVP conversation. That was a little far because he has all of these guys around him. But needless to say, I mean, he still had a good season. He still put up good numbers, so you can respect it. I don't feel like anything that Cam Newton said about him being a game manager is anything bad. And people that come at Cam Newton are just wrong. They're just wrong. Disagreeing to what he's saying, getting on him. It's wrong. He's not the best player on the team, but he's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good quarterback, but he's just managing the offense. You put any quarterback there, they'll be probably not even the best person on their team. You put Dak Prescott on that team, who is an MVP candidate, you would call him a game manager. You would. You put any one of the starting quarterback stars, they're probably not even the best person on that team. That team is just loaded. But this doesn't make Brock Purdy a bad quarterback at all. Just because he's a game manager doesn't make him a bad quarterback at all. Brock Purdy just did what he needed to do, and when he didn't need to be a game manager, which in this game, he didn't need to be a game manager, he had to be a game changer, he became a game changer. His first half stats versus his second half stats look totally different. Those are game changer numbers. Nothing against Brock Purdy of him being a game manager, but when he needed to be a game changer, he came and he stepped up, and all y'all can do is give him credit for that. So shout out to the San Francisco 49ers for winning, being resilient, stepping up to the task, stepping up to the challenge, and beating the Detroit Lions. Now, for my Super Bowl predictions, I did say in the last podcast episode that I made, I got it right. I said that it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. Y'all are going to listen to me. I knew that it was going to be some sort of rematch. And sure enough, we have it from 2020 in Las Vegas. This San Francisco team is different than the San Francisco team that we saw the last time they made it to the Super Bowl, especially with the add-on with Christian McCaffrey. Now they have Brandon Ayuk. Now they have these guys on their team. But they still have Kittle. They still have Debo. They still have Trent Williams. They still have the defense from that Super Bowl team pretty much versus a Patrick Mahomes team that doesn't have Tyreek Hill. Doesn't have some guys that they did have. All they really have is Kelsey on that offense. Everybody else, like Kadarius Toney, who hasn't been playing. Rashee Rice, who was a rookie. All these guys are new. Watson, all these guys are new. But with that being said, this is San Francisco's best chance on beating the Kansas City Chiefs. But I feel as though if Baltimore couldn't beat them, and Baltimore killed San Francisco at home, I honestly believe that Kansas City can beat San Francisco. I honestly do. Baltimore had the best chance out of all the teams that Kansas City has faced to beat them. And they couldn't. So with that in mind, like I said in my last podcast episode, I'm still going to choose the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the San Francisco 49ers, even though this is San Francisco's best chance on beating them. This is their best chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they do find something. I don't know whether that is running the ball like they do, like what Kyle Shanahan does do. His bread and butter, you have Christian McCaffrey, run that ball. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. As much as you can, as long as you can. Give the ball to Christian McCaffrey early. Give the ball to Christian McCaffrey often. Give the ball to Debo early. Use him in different formations. Give it to him often. You have guys. Get Kittle involved. Get Brandon Ayuk involved. But I honestly feel like the X factor for this San Francisco 49ers team is going to be Brock Purdy. It's going to be Brock Purdy. When it matters most on a third down play, can you keep the chains moving like how Patrick Mahomes did against Baltimore? If he can keep that chains rolling, keep it rolling, so then that way they go back to the run to Christian McCaffrey. So that way they can keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. I feel confident that San Francisco can win this game. But it's all about continuing to rush the ball, never abandon it, and keeping Mahomes off the field. With the Kansas City Chiefs, get Travis Kelce involved. That's all we have to say. Get Travis Kelce involved. Get Pacheco, get that running game going. Especially Pacheco. You get Pacheco involved, that opens up that pass for Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. I feel like that's their X factor. Obviously not saying Travis Kelce because he's obviously an X factor too. But I will be saying if the Kansas City Chiefs can't get that run game going, it's going to be hard for them to win. But with that being said, I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes will be getting his third Super Bowl. I feel as though the score is going to be high scoring. I feel as though it's going to be sort of kind of like the Detroit Lions San Francisco game, 34-31. But I think it's going to be like a 28-31 game. Something like that. 31-28, Kansas City Chiefs. They win it on a kick. Either a kick or a stopped fourth down. Brock Purdy tries to throw it to George Kittle over the middle, and it's an incomplete pass. Game over. That's how I think it's going to be. Let me know what y'all think. Who do y'all have? Do y'all have the San Francisco 49ers? Or do you have the dynasty of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? Can Kyle Shanahan's system finally win Super Bowls? Or is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes going to do it again? Let me know what y'all think. That's going to be a very interesting Super Bowl. Halftime performance by Usher. That is going to be awesome. So let's move to the news from all over the world. Like I said earlier in the podcast episode, I was going to split this into sports and news from all over the world. This is going to be a long podcast. So, a week ago, there has been some feud between Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. This all started with Megan Thee Stallion dropping her song Hiss, which dropped a week ago, like I said. And Megan was basically dissing several people in the song, unnamed people in the song that had a whole lot to say about her. And she responded. And one of the people that she responded to was Nicki Minaj. It was directly thrown at Nicki Minaj, and she said 2 lines in her song. And it states, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's Law." Now, for those of y'all that don't know, Megan's Law, basically, Nicki Minaj's husband is a sex offender. And he basically ain't registered to be a sex offender. And I think that is what Megan's Law is. So, with that in mind, Nicki Minaj was not happy with that at all. So, Nicki Minaj goes on Twitter. And, you know, she's like, "Stop talking about my husband," because a whole lot of people have been talking about Nicki Minaj's husband. Megan Thee Stallion isn't the only one that has been talking about Nicki Minaj's husband. Like I said, Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, which is his real name, he was convicted of an attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl in 1995, and he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and he was 15 at the time. And then in July of 2022, Petty was sentenced to 3 years probation and 1 year of home detention for failing to register as a sex offender. So this caused an immediate response for Nicki on IG and X, which is Twitter. For those of y'all that don't know, that's what it's formerly called. And Nicki was going crazy. I'm talking about tweeting for days straight, going after Megan Thee Stallion's bean top. She literally pinned on her X page. She said, "Your flow is such a bore, drinking a bottle of Henny through a straw, bitch. You better stop that dialogue before I hit Carl and buy your catalogs. How the fuck your mother, man, when she died? How you go on Gayle King and can't cry, chill by Bigfoot, but you still a small fry." Just the whole lyrics, basically, of the song that she dropped on Bigfoot. So on IG Live, she was previewing the song Bigfoot. And at first, when I heard bad bitch, she like 6 foot, I call her Bigfoot. The bitch said, "Good up on your good foot." She said that on IG Live. Everybody that was on that IG Live went crazy. Literally went crazy. I even went crazy because I'm like, wow, Nicki is finna come for her head. And while Nicki Minaj was doing this, Megan Thee Stallion was on The Breakfast Club, and she was basically talking about the whole situation, saying that this was just for people that was talking about her. That's basically all that she said. She just got, one of the things that Nicki was basically saying to her in all her other songs, Megan decided to respond in her song Hiss. And that's just how it all started. So when Nicki Minaj basically dropped that IG Live that same day or a couple of days after that, Nicki Minaj dropped Bigfoot. And I'm not going to lie to you. Let's talk about it. That song was not it. For a diss song, that song was not it. And the problem with it, Nicki Minaj had us good from the snippet. She had us good in the snippet. But when you use the same exact lyrics that you have been tweeting on social media, this is rap beef, okay? We don't care as fans. We do not care about any of the tweets on Twitter. We care when that beef song does drop, when that diss song does drop, how good are the lyrics gonna be? How good are the punchlines and how good is the disrespect gonna be? And to be honest with you, it just wasn't it. Yes, was it mad disrespectful? Yes, it was mad disrespectful. But what makes a good diss song, what makes Ether by Nas, what makes Hit 'Em Up, what makes the Pusha T diss song towards Drake good songs, what makes Sheether by Remy Ma against Nicki Minaj good songs, was the punchlines and how disrespectful it is. We can listen to a diss song and be like, oh, this song was good. If any fan can listen to a diss song and still enjoy the diss song as just a song, that's what makes a diss song better. But if you're just going to come on a diss song and just say disrespectful things, I can get on a diss song and just say disrespectful things. But that's not what makes it good. It's the delivery. She ain't deliver it right. And to be honest with you, Megan Thee Stallion's 2 lines, these hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's Law, that's better than Nicki Minaj's entire song. Better than Nicki Minaj's entire song, Bigfoot. We don't care about Nicki Minaj's how many numbers she got. She got the most amount of numbers for that song. We don't care about none of that. We care about the diss, the delivery, and the disrespect. There was a lot of disrespect. Talking about Megan Thee Stallion's mother. Talking about her getting shot in the foot. Talking about Megan Thee Stallion being ran through in the industry. These are things that we know. Another thing that makes a diss song good, you got to come with something that nobody in the industry or nobody period knows about as fans. What made Pusha T's diss song a good song towards Drake, we didn't even know that Drake had a baby at that time. So when he said it, everybody on the internet just went crazy. What made Tupac's Hit 'Em Up song crazy was the disrespect and how good it was as a whole. The delivery of it was good. The bars were good. What made Sheether good by Remy Ma, the delivery, the disrespect. That's what it was. Nicki isn't a battle rapper. She isn't. But one thing you can have happen if you're, quote unquote, the queen of rap, female rap, you cannot have somebody like Megan Thee Stallion come and literally beat you in a diss. You can't. Nicki Minaj has already lost to Remy Ma. She got destroyed. This is where Nicki Minaj messed up. Nicki Minaj dropped something like this and then tried to say, oh, I'm taking it lightly on her. Usually when someone says that they're taking it lightly on you, I'm not going to do you like that, they don't have nothing in the back tank. They don't have nothing. They're just all talking, saying, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just take it lightly on you. Don't even worry about it. I can really come harder. No, you can't. That's where Nicki Minaj messed up. And this is how Megan Thee Stallion, listen to me. This is Megan's best opportunity to briefly get rid of this Tory situation that she has had on her shoulders for a year plus off of her shoulders. You come and drop a diss song that is better than Nicki Minaj's with bars like, these hoes don't be mad at Megan, they be mad at Megan's Law. You drop something like that on your next diss song and it's just straight disrespect and it's delivered to a T, very good, we won't even be talking about you for the whole Tory thing briefly. We wouldn't. And we will for sure be questioning someone like Nicki Minaj, like, you seriously lost to Megan Thee Stallion? And to be honest with you, people didn't think that Megan Thee Stallion was really this type of person. I didn't even think Megan Thee Stallion was like this. But Megan Thee Stallion, you have to respond within the next 4 to 5 days with the diss song. Yes, you say you're being quiet, but you can't say that these people are talking about you, so I gotta respond just for you to now be quiet, because Nicki responded. Megan Thee Stallion poked the bear And all Nicki Minaj has been doing has been talking for days straight, just yapping. And she came and dropped this, which was not delivered right, and it was trash. It was trash. Megan Thee Stallion's 2 lines on Hiss about Nicki Minaj was better than Nicki Minaj's full song. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Megan Thee Stallion's 2 lines that had me search up what Megan's Law was better than Nicki Minaj's whole song. So Megan Thee Stallion, if you want this whole Tory Lanez situation to be off of your shoulders for just a little bit, I'm going to need you to drop a song, a diss song, strictly disrespecting Nicki Minaj, and deliver it to a T, just like you did with that bar. If you do that, we will be questioning Nicki Minaj. Like, you lost to Remy Ma. Okay, Remy Ma is a battle rapper. She can battle rap. But you lose to Megan Thee Stallion, a new compared to you rapper, female rapper. You've been in the game way longer than Megan Thee Stallion, and you let someone like her beat you, and she ain't even like that. Like, the disrespect talking about her mama and all of that, I feel as though if you can't back that up with some fighting, beefing, physical harm, there ain't no need to talk about somebody's mama. I feel like that's very disrespectful. If you're not going to fight about it, if you ain't going to do anything about it, there ain't no need to be that disrespectful. However, you can be as disrespectful as you want. I personally don't care, but that I feel like is crossing the line if you're not going to do anything about it. But Megan Thee Stallion, this is how you play this. You already playing it good. You dropped Hiss with those 2 bars. You poked the bear. You made Nicki Minaj go on this whole little rampage. Her mind is going crazy off of these drugs and going crazy, yapping on social media. You got her on IG Live. Bad bitch, she like 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The bitch told her, I said, get up on your good foot. You got her doing this all, hurrying up to try and make a song, making it in less than 24 hours just for it to be not good. It wasn't good delivery. And will we remember this diss months from now? No, we will not. We will not. And that's where Nicki messed up. Someone as high as Nicki, when you drop a diss song, your first diss song, you have to just kill them, knockout, TKO, game over. Somebody like Drake, somebody like Tupac, somebody like Nas, anytime they get in a beef with somebody and somebody throws a stray at them, they drop a diss right after and it's a TKO every single time. We should feel as fans as, man, Nicki dropped this. Oh, Megan can't come back from this. This is good enough for Megan to respond, but this diss didn't even knock Megan to her feet. This diss was like a jab to Megan. Megan threw a knockout punch and she got Nicki on the ground, but not knocked out fully. Those 2 lines was phenomenal. Phenomenal. We love the negativity. We do. So let me tell you, Megan, this is what you got to do. You're playing it cool right now. You're being quiet ever since you dropped Hiss. You letting her just do all that yapping. You let her drop this little mid trash that should not have made it out the studio. Now I'm going to need you to respond. Now I'm going to need you to throw those type of lines that you had in Hiss on your next diss song. You do that, and it's hard, we will be questioning Nicki Minaj, and we will for sure get that Tory Lanez situation off your shoulders briefly. We will not be talking about that. We will be talking about this beef between the BARBZ and Megan Thee Stallion. We will. Because the BARBZ is mad. But Megan Thee Stallion is winning right now, and it's not even close. All of that yapping that Nicki Minaj is doing on social media is not getting backed up by something that she is doing, which is her music. That music is not hitting, Nicki. It's not hitting. You're not a battle rapper, but don't be doing all that talking if you're not a battle rapper. And you're going to get destroyed by someone like Remy Ma, who literally killed you. But if you lose to Megan Thee Stallion, oh, everybody will be questioning Nicki Minaj. That is something that cannot happen. No excuses. But if I'm a Megan Thee Stallion fan, I'm in a good spot. You're winning this beef by far. Those 2 lines was better than her whole song. So with that in mind, within the next 4 to 5 days, a week at the latest, I'm going to need you to respond to this trash piece of shit. I'm going to need you to. I'm going to need you to respond to Bigfoot. Because everything that Nicki said, we already know about Megan Thee Stallion. We already know about her. We already do. Nothing old. Nothing new. Nothing new. We know that she is active in the industry. We know the whole Tory Lanez situation. We know about all this. But if Megan could come out with something that nobody knows about Nicki Minaj, oh, it will be game over. So for sure, Megan Thee Stallion is winning this beef. Nicki Minaj can come back, but it's not looking too good for Nicki Minaj and the BARBZ. Because y'all finna lose to Megan Thee Stallion. And that should not happen in no way, shape, or form. That is crazy. So as I'm recording this video, I ended up finding something on social media. I saw it as I'm recording this video, but I also saw it a couple of days before I started recording this video. And at first I couldn't find it, but I was just looking as I was recording this video and I had ended up finding it. Blueface got these females dick whipped while in jail. I'm sorry, are you serious? A video of Chrisean Rock with a Blueface tattoo on her cheek, yes, her cheek, has surfaced on Twitter, which she says that this is 100% real. So I'm fixing to show y'all this video. Mind you, she just got a tattoo removed. She just had a tooth tattoo. A tooth of Blueface. She just had Blueface tattooed on her. Just did. Got that removed. And now you get a whole face tattoo on your cheek. Half of your cheek. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Blueface's girlfriend, Bonnie Lachey, one-ups Chrisean Rock. I kid you not. Let me show you this video. So she gets a butt tattoo. So Blueface got a tattoo on both cheeks of females. A cheek and a cheek. Are you serious? And her tattoo is Blueface's mugshot. And she just got it done on December 30th. Chrisean got hers done on the 28th. So it is February 2nd as I'm recording this video. So 2 days in between from the moment Chrisean Rock got her tattoo, she ends up getting her tattoo on the butt. On the butt. Blueface is in jail right now and won't be getting out as of right now until July 2024. He's not even in jail. He's not even giving these females the D. He's not. This is top tier CTE, top tier delusion by these females. Would y'all ever get y'all dudes' face tattooed on y'all's cheek or y'all cheek, if you feel what I'm saying? I can maybe see a name, but a name is even pushing it. But you getting a cheek tattoo that's covering half of your face, and you said that you were done after he wasn't even supporting your kid, and I talked about that on this podcast. You were saying that he was not supporting the kid. He was going with Jaden Alexis and was going to take care of her kids and was going to be with Jaden Alexis. You saying that you done with Blueface just for you to get a tattoo like this? He got to be putting some money in that. He got to. And he got to be giving them the good deed. Because there ain't no way that you get these females this crazy and this delusional over you for both of them to get cheek tattoos on the cheek and the cheek. And they're both big. Keep in mind, it's hard to get tattoos. It's expensive to get tattoos removed. You feel what I'm saying? It is expensive to get these tattoos removed. And I am befuddled. I just don't know what to say. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. I would have never thought I would see something like this. Not a day in my life. Not a day in my life. Of two females. This is really, I don't know if this is really true love or this is toxic love and this is just going head first against each other. Does Chrisean Rock truly love Blueface to where she's getting a tattoo on her cheek and this girl is truly in love with Blueface and she's getting a tattoo on her booty? Or is this just true toxic love and this is just going back and forth? Because obviously Blueface has Chrisean Rock as the baby mom, has Jaden Alexis. I don't think Blueface has a kid with Bonnie. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Blueface has a kid with Bonnie. So that'll be even more crazy. You don't even have a kid with this dude. And you're getting a butt tattoo. Is this for social media? What is this like? Do these people not realize that once you get this tattoo, like it's very expensive to get it off? Very expensive to get it off. Blueface got these females dick whipped. This is some witchcraft. He's doing something in the bedroom that most of these dudes, I'm not doing, or something. I don't know what is going on. I don't know. But to get females to tat faces, it's not even names. That's really the crazy thing about it. It's not even names. It's full-fledged faces of this dude on the cheek and the booty. These females have CTE. These females are delusional. I don't know. What is this? Is this true love or toxic love? Is this tattoo really showing how much they really love this dude? Or is this really just toxic? It's like, what is this? This is crazy. For real. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Especially after Chrisean said that she was done with him. That's crazy. After she said that. And I just found out about the butt tattoo as I was recording this video. As I'm recording this video right now. I literally scrolled up and I saw this. Literally, when I clicked on the tab, I scrolled up and boom, it was right there. I couldn't believe what I just saw. And y'all are watching this live. Literally. That is absolutely crazy. I don't know what Blueface is doing in the bedroom. I don't know how we got these females to be this crazy and this delusional. But this is scary. Imagine if Blueface does really some real deal cheating. This Blueface can really get hurt by these females. Females react off of emotion, fellas. They do things off of emotion and think last. They react before they think. So with this in mind, with this tattoo right here, face tattoos, if any one of these females see Blueface talking to another female or whatever, it's already gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Even though Blueface can do that, but I'm telling you, it'll be crazy. Because face tattoos, I could see if it was a name. And a name is kind of pushing it. But people do that regularly. But a full face? And this is not your mom, your dad, anybody in your family? That is ridiculous. CTE at its finest. That has to stop. Man, I cannot believe that. Man, I cannot believe that. So let's move to TikTok and UMG, or Universal Music Group. They have went their separate ways. UMG announced that it will stop licensing its songs to TikTok, which has gone into effect on January 31st due to pay disagreements and AI concerns on the social media app. Big time artists like Drake, The Weeknd, SZA, Ice Spice, Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, Kendrick, Ye, anybody, you name them, they're probably under Universal Music Group. And any one of those artists that is under Universal Music Group has got all of their songs removed from TikTok. Any user that has used one of those songs or one of those artist songs on one of their videos, all of those videos have been getting muted, and now they have to transfer their song towards a different song to use for their video. TikTok responded by saying that they're refusing to come to an agreement is self-serving, and its decision to walk away from their platform is pretty much stupid. From walking away from their platform, which gains over 1 billion users. TikTok is very hot right now. TikTok has been hot for years. Everybody from all ages has been using TikTok. It's probably, I think, top 3 most used social media app. That's how good TikTok is. TikTok relies on music. TikTok uses the music to promote artists at the same time. People like Ice Spice, people like Coi Leray, people like The Baby, any artist really, they put their songs on TikTok and they promote. But it's really going to affect the artists who really use TikTok to get bigger. Used it to promote their music, and now they're one-hit wonders, or they got through the door. Someone like a Ice Spice with Munch that started off, that gained attention on TikTok. But obviously, when you look at her sales, first week sales, they're not the best, because most of her songs are for TikTok. Same with Coi Leray. When Coi Leray dropped her project, I think it only sold 9K. It's her music that is for TikTok. You have artists on here, on this platform, that most of their songs are for TikTok, and for TikTok only. It's for catchy trends. Corvette, hopping them up, jet like that. Like, those songs are for TikTok. But now all of those songs are gone if you're under Universal Music Group. All TikTok trends are used from songs. It's going to be very interesting. And it's already taken effect as of right now. TikTok has been literally crazy. There's no songs on TikTok that you can use. All the big time artists is gone. One of my videos already got muted, so I had to change the song. It's really crazy. TikTok is really finna fall downhill. They are already trying to get TikTok out the way when the US and I think China was going after it, going back and forth. But now, since Universal Music Group and TikTok couldn't come to the agreement, now TikTok is for sure going to be going downhill unless they can find something. If they can't find anything, if they can't have AIs make songs or something like that to make these trends, TikTok is going to go downhill. And it's sad to say it, because TikTok at a point in time was top tier. with the whole Corvette, hopping them jet like that, like so many trends. Bake it out west, slang it out west. Like, what do y'all think was the best TikTok trend? What do y'all think was the best TikTok trend? They had the Corvette. They had Devious Licks. They had Out West. They had so many TikTok trends. It's so many I can't even think of. But if y'all had to pick 5 TikTok trends, what would y'all say? With everything that's going on and TikTok is not having its sounds no more, the fall of TikTok, I'm sorry to say, is coming. But TikTok, it was really fun while it lasted. Unless y'all can figure out a way to get these songs back on your platform, I just don't see TikTok functioning without music. Everybody's going to be doing the NPC dances, NPC movements as trends. That's going to be so crazy. Regular spinning, regular bobbing, just like this. Like, without these big time artists and without just artists in general being able to promote their music on TikTok, which is easy to grow your music on TikTok, it's going to be very hard for artists like Ice Spice, Coi Leray, or anybody that's new in the rap game or any genre of music, grow their music, market their music. It's going to be very hard. The trends was doing it. The trends were doing it. And TikTok was the focal point of TikTok trends and the music trends. It was. But let me know what y'all top 5 TikTok trends were. Like I said, I would say Corvette. I would say Out West. Dang. Devious Licks was probably like 5. Dang, there's so many. I don't know. That's a hard 5. That really is. That's a hard 5. I can't think of it. But let me know how y'all top 5 would go. And I'm really sad for TikTok. I am. It looks like we're just going to have to find a different app to do this. But TikTok, if y'all can't find anything to get the music back on your page, not only is music going to be hard to promote for, younger artists on your social media platform, but even content creators, because content creators use music to promote their videos. You put a popular song on your video, it has a better chance of growing that video. But now since they don't have it, now they have to use original sound. So if you don't have the followers already, it's going to be a little bit tougher than if you did have the music with the video that you did have and you were a small content creator. Because the moment you put that music on your video, it has a chance of blowing up because there's been people that have used that song millions of times. You put a Drake song, a Taylor Swift, a SZA song, an Olivia Rodrigo song with millions of views, millions of plays. You put that on your video, you have an opportunity to make it blow. So it's going to be hard for those small content creators to get big because now they have to use original sound because now the music is gone. Versus if they did have music, it would be just a little bit easier to grow their channel. So I really feel bad for TikTok. I really do. I really feel bad for me as a content creator, other people as content creators, and people that promote their music really on TikTok and, start trends because of it. It's so messed up. But hopefully they can find it. So like I said, I was going to do a podcast topic idea. And like I said, follow me on IG, X, and TikTok at The Truth Comes to Light Podcast because I will be doing more of these. This was from one of my friends. Shout out to Taylor. So she told me to rank all the shot of flows from 1 through 7. Now, I listened to all the shot of flows again because it's been a minute since I listened to all the shot of flows, like shot of flow 1, shot of flow 3. It's been a minute since I listened to those. Now, in December, NLE Choppa dropped shot of flow 7, the last shot of flow. And it was a good one. It was a good shot of flow, but it really had me think like, okay, let's go ahead and compare. And sure enough, she says, hey, let's rank all the shot of flows from 1 through 7. So I'm going to give y'all my list of the best shot of flows from worst to best. I feel like this is the best list that I could have came up with. You can argue with me all you want, but I feel as though this is the best list I could have came up with. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So for number 7, the worst shot of flow, I got shot of flow 4. Number 6, I have shot of flow 7. Number 5, I have shot of flow 2. Number 4, I have shot of flow 5. Number 3, I have shot of flow 6, which could easily be number 2. But I gave the slight edge at number 2 to shot of flow 3. And number 1 for the best shot of flow by NLE Choppa, you got to say shot of flow 1 featuring Blueface. You just do. And shot of flow 1. It's the best one. But the margin from 1 to 3, the top 3 spots, the margin from shot of flow 1 to shot of flow 3, and from shot of flow 3 to shot of flow 6, it was very small. Very small. But the bars in shot of flow 6 is just a little bit. It's better than shot of flow 3, but I feel like overall as a whole, shot of flow 3 is better as a song than shot of flow 6. And shot of flow 1 is just the original. And I just feel like it's the best one. You can't deny the original. It's hard to beat the original, but I feel as though this was just top tier. Time frame plays a part in it too. So I feel as though shot of flow 1, and then when he added Blueface to it, it took it to a whole new level because Blueface was already head in the game. He was cooking with hot grease. So I feel as though shot of flow 1, that's what makes it better. Blueface was that add-on, and boom, that solidified number 1. But shot of flow 3 and shot of flow 6, you can easily put shot of flow 6 at number 2 and put shot of flow 3 at number 3. I wouldn't be mad. But I gave the slight edge to shot of flow 3. Personally, I like it better. But shot of flow 6 is a top 3. Shot of flow 4 is last. Chief Keef. I did not like it at all. I just didn't. It just wasn't hitting. It just wasn't hitting to me. Same with shot of flow 7 and shot of flow 2. I really ain't really messed with shot of flow 2. The ones that I do listen to the most out of all of them is shot of flow 1, shot of flow 3. Those are the 2 that I listen to the most. What makes shot of flow 5 top 4, you have to put it in the top 4 because it was a TikTok trend. You have to put shot of flow 5 in the top 4 because it was a TikTok trend. That already makes it 3 spots ahead than shot of flow 2, 7, and 4. And it was just better. But I couldn't give it the edge over shot of flow 6 because bars wise, shot of flow 6 kills shot of flow 5. So let me know what you think. Is this a good list? Is this a valid list? Or what do y'all think? Is this list just straight up trash? Let me know what y'all think. So the last thing that I will be talking about for this podcast episode is Keith Lee, okay? Now, for those of y'all that don't know, Keith Lee is a famous food reviewer on TikTok with over 20 million followers on TikTok. He was just in Dallas, Texas a couple of days ago. I think he still is in Dallas, Texas still today, reviewing food because he goes on a food tour. He was just in Houston, Texas. He goes to New Orleans, Atlanta. He goes all over the country and tries food and gives it a review. So he goes to Sweetly Seasoned Food Truck in Dallas, Texas, and he reviews the food, and he ends up liking the food, and Keith Lee decides to be generous, and he gives a tip. He gives a $4,000 tip, and it was 3 people there at the time. So Keith Lee tells the owner that this is $4,000 in tips. You take $2,000, you give the sister $1,000, well, the other employees $1,000, and you give the brother of the other worker $1,000. So it's $2,000 for the owner, $1,000 for the coworker, and $1,000 for the coworker's brother. She decides to keep all of the money. What Keith Lee also did was give an extra like $800, so that way any other customer that does go to that food truck, they get their food for free. He paid for everybody behind him that does eat at that food truck. And at first, she obeyed it. She made these people pay nothing for the food. But once Keith Lee ended up leaving, she started charging everybody for their food. So now that food truck is now facing backlash, and the person that was on that food truck that was supposed to get the money ended up coming out on TikTok and basically told the whole story. And here we go. Let's talk about it.
Check this out. Keith Lee is not the person to blame for this. When this man walked up to that window and we greeted him, and he said he was going to give my brother $1,000, give me $1,000, and tip the owner $2,000 on top of him paying tax, which has nothing to do with what's going on, and then left another $886 on top of that, he was not the person to say, oh, I'm just going to give it all to the food truck. I was the one who said, I'm going to just charge you right here, because I thought that this lady would have the decency, the humanity, the morality to say, okay, I'm going to just give y'all the money that this man said that y'all were allotted. Granted, we weren't even 45 minutes into whatever mini rush was going on after Keith Lee left, and she looked me in my face and said, you know, it's going to take about a day or two for that money to clear. I was like, yes, ma'am. I know how Square works. My brother was gone, y'all. Y'all heard me tell Keith Lee my brother went to go pick up my baby brother from school because I was dedicating my time. I neglected my responsibilities to go and help my friend's mom. So, if anything, it was my fault for believing and trusting that this lady was going to do right by what Keith Lee said. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he came to do. We asked him to come out. He came out. He said the food was good. But this is not Keith Lee's fault. And I'm not going to sit here and keep reading comments about y'all saying he should have did this, he should have did that. If anything, with everything that's going on, I wish the man would have stayed away. I wish I would have stayed at home in my bed. I wish I would have declined the offer to come out and help. Let's be honest. I wish I would have said, bump that. Let me take my brother to go and meet Jonathan so that he could potentially get a spot in the shop to further his career in haircutting. That's crazy. What I wish I should have done. But no, you can't do, black people just can't do right. You get what I'm saying? I gave my friend ample time to make this right. I told him ample times, your mama got to 5 o'clock to do right by my brother. I don't care if that means she calls and say, hey, I'm going to give you your money, I just can't give it today. Or, hey, I'm going to give you $500. I'm going to give you $100. Anything. You had the opportunity to make this right because out of your words, Trey, you said, my mama don't even understand. Your platform is bigger than mine. Just because the numbers don't look like it right now, baby, I got the weight of the world behind me. You know what I'm saying? So this does not fall on Keith Lee. This does not fall on what he did and him as a human being, him as a soul person who came to use his talent, his gift, his presence, all of that to help somebody that's full of greed. You get what I'm saying? No. And it won't stop. Dookie dick. Up until you make this shit right, I'm on y'all head.
So that's exactly what she said. And Keith Lee, this isn't the only place that if he likes the food, he will help and, tip these restaurants, food trucks. He does it everywhere. This isn't just the only place. But like she said in the video, greed is real. Money can cause a whole lot of greed. And you got to watch the people that you work with. The people that you do try and work with at the beginning, they may all think that it's all cool, that y'all really all friends. But in the back of their minds, they really only there for the money. And you got to sense that. You got to sense that some people, yes, they just there just for the money. They're not there to really just do good and really just there for the whole journey. They're just thinking what that end result can be, that money. When people want to work for themselves, have a business, what they think about that money. Instead of working, thinking about the time and the effort, the late nights that you have to put in for it. They just think about that end result. Oh, I'm going to be on a beach. I'm going to have all of this money in the world. I'm going to just go straight for the money. You can't go straight for the money. If you truly love these people, if you truly loved what you were doing, you got to help these people. You got to just go in and just not do things for the money. Split the pay. Keith Lee gave everybody bread. Gave $4,000. You take $2,000, everybody else takes a band. But you decide to keep all of the money. That's very greed. Very greed. Very much greed. And the Keith Lee effect is something serious. Does she not know that? Everybody hearing about this will not be coming to your food truck because they're going to think that is very greedy. Especially the people that said they were supposed to get their things for free. Especially Keith Lee said that, hey, this money is for the people behind me. Everybody behind me, they get their food for free for the day. They weren't supposed to pay for their food, and they had to pay for their food because someone wanted to be greedy and get some extra money. It's a crazy world we live in. People are full of greed. You got to watch out for those people, especially when you start a business. If you sense that someone is only just there for the money, they're not there for the results, the effort, the late nights, the hard work. They're just there because that end result, that money look good. They see what someone is doing in regards to on social media, and they're doing the same thing that you're trying to do. If they made clothes and they're a millionaire and you're starting to make clothes and all they see is just the lifestyle, people get too caught up in that lifestyle. They don't want to do the hard work. They're just thinking of that money. So when that money does come, they're going to be very grateful. You got to watch out for those people and don't surround yourself with those people. If that comes with you not working with anybody, then don't work with anybody. Don't have no partners because it's hard for people to just have real partners with them. It's hard for people to have real co-workers behind them that just truly believe and truly want to hustle without just thinking about the money, without being greedful for real. Because of the simple fact, once you do get big, oh, they just going to be thinking, man, we just got the money. They're not even going to think of, man, what can we do better for this business? What can we do to make this business get to the next step? They're just going to be thinking, oh, we making thousands of dollars every single day. That's all I care about. But the fact that she took all the money, all the 4 bands, and still haven't gave these co-workers anything, this is really sad. Keith Lee, you did your job. Keith Lee, keep on doing the things that you're doing. Keep on reviewing food. Keep on doing what you love doing. Keep on blessing these people with money because most of these people have never even seen $4,000 just straight in their hands, cash, in their lives. So keep on doing what you're doing. But the people that are starting businesses, watch the co-workers that you do have. Watch the owners that you do have for that food truck or any business because people are full of greed. And people just do things because of the money. It's all about them at the end of the day. What makes you real, you break bread. Break bread with the people. Break bread, do things that you shouldn't do. That's what makes you memorable. That's what makes you real. Do things that ain't your job, but you still decide to do it anyways. You do it out the kindness of your heart instead of just for the money and all of that. Like, no, like, do things out of the kindness of your heart. Don't ever just do things because of the money. If you truly want to do something in life, don't ever do it because of the money. Do what you want to do because you love it, you're passionate, and you'll help somebody out. Your coworkers. Because you truly love what you do. Greed is real. Watch those people when you are starting a business for real. I feel bad for both of them. This girl right here and the brother. Just because someone wants to be full of greed. That is so messed up. Watch the people that you go to work with, that you make business with, that you're business partners with. They can be your best friend from years back, but when that money comes, so many people change because of that money. No matter how long y'all been friends, y'all could be friends since y'all were in Pampers, but when that money come, when them bands is coming in, when y'all business is successful, watch how quick it is for someone to turn because of that money. So if you got to do something by yourself, start your business by yourself, fine, do it. Nothing wrong with that. Because most people anyways, no matter how long you've known them, they'll be full of greed and they'll do some shady shit behind your back, all because of that money is coming. Keep that in mind. So with that, that is the end of this podcast episode. If you made it to the end of this podcast episode, please sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you get the latest updates on when I post a full podcast episode or a full Real Spill Wednesday. More videos will be coming real soon. Also follow me on IG, TikTok, and X at The Truth Comes to Light Podcast. And with that in mind, I love each and every one of y'all, and y'all have a nice rest of y'all night.